Good evening, everyone. This is Rebecca with Red True Crime, and we're going to talk about how can I put this? What happens when you're faced with a person that is suspected in killing your own child? You're in the courthouse, they've been charged, but if they come across your path, how do you respond? That's what we're going to talk about tonight. So, back in May of 2025, I believe it was May 21st, I might be a little off on the date. One Jamari Dixon was shot and killed at a park in Charlotte, North Carolina. The person who shot him, he's another young man by the name of Marion McKnight. But we're going to talk about all this and about what happened 2 days ago at the Mecklenberg court. So bear with me just a moment and I'm going to show you what happened. Okay, thank you for hanging out with me. So on May 23rd, Jamari Dixon and two of his other friends were at a park. Now, whether they're playing basketball, hanging out, I don't know. But on May 23rd, they were out just being people, And lo and behold, Marion McKnight shows up and just starts shooting away. 3 people were shot. Jamira Dixon, Nazir Perry, and what was his other name? Avion Patterson. 2 people were in serious life-threatening condition. 1 was in minor condition, was able to be discharged right away. Unfortunately, on May 27th, Jamire Dixon, hopefully I'm saying his name right, he passed away from his injuries. Now, they did charge Marion McKnight originally with 3 counts of attempted first-degree murder, and now he's being charged with first-degree murder and 2 attempted first-degree murders. What I don't understand is he'd already had a previous arrest for carrying a concealed weapon. That was in February of 2025, and he was still being tried under that, which they have not gone to court about that yet. Now he has all of this, and he was let go on a $50,000 bond originally for the 3 attempted first-degree murder. And then that was called back, and then he was charged with first-degree murder. But when he made bond, they put him on an ankle bracelet. And Thursday, they went back to court to talk about having the bond withdrawn and him put in jail to stay there until he goes to court for this. And this is what happened.
Once you kill my motherfucking nephew, nigga, don't holler. Don't holler, nigga. Don't holler, nigga. Don't holler, nigga. Don't holler, nigga. Shut that nigga out. Shut that nigga out. Yeah, get out of here! Shut that nigga out, bro! Shut that nigga out, bro! Yeah, nigga! Yeah, nigga!
Okay, so you get the point. So the person on top of Marion McKnight was a Shaheen Snipe. That is the father of Jamari Dixon. He saw him and just went nuts. So the question is, was this man right or wrong for doing what he did? The woman that was there on the bench with Marion McKnight was his mother. The women you hear in the background are the aunts of Jamari Dixon. And Shaheen Snipe was tasered and arrested and charged with assault, you know, and given $1,000 bond. So here are my thoughts. I don't know if they should have had Marion McKnight just openly walking around in court like that. He's charged with murdering one young man and shooting two others. If I'm on an ankle bracelet, that's all well and good, but you have to understand these people have families. The people who are the boy that is dead has families. The boys that were hurt have families, and I think they're going to feel a certain type of way. So I do not blame Jerry Dixon's father for doing what he did. I don't. Now he did hurt Marion McKnight. He did, hit him in the head, and there was blood and whatnot, and he did do all of that. So that, for me, like I said, I hope that when it gets down to the father going to court, because I think he's a court date like on March 13th, I hope they take it easy on him and just kind of throw it out, because he didn't kill the kid. He could have, but he didn't. And this boy is already going to be up for a lot of trouble, because here's my thing. They had passed a law after Irina Zaruska's death on that train that people with previous violent past should already be, locked up until trial, or if ever let out on bond. And this kid already was caught with a concealed weapon, and he was able to bond out. Now he's been charged with first-degree murder, and he's on an ankle bracelet? Are you serious? It's not like he's a minor. He's 21 years old. He should definitely be locked up until he goes to trial. Because my thing is this: if he is out wandering around, now granted, he's not allowed he has to stay within 1 mile of his mother's house. He's not allowed to be on the internet. He's not allowed to be on social media. He's not allowed to have any weapons in the house or access to any weapons. That's all well and good. But here's the thing: someone's already attacked him once. They should have kept his ass locked up. Because what was the point of him killing this boy? He was a football player, 16 years old, honor roll student, all these things. What was the point of all that? What was the point of all that? I would love to know, what was the point? So you all tell me what you think. I don't think Jerry Dixon's father was in the wrong for doing what he did. I understand legally he can't do that, but I get it. Emotions. I can't sit there and say I wouldn't have done the same damn thing if it was one of my kids that was dead, and the person who did it is right there. Now, granted, it's alleged because he's not been convicted. I get that. But really? I think the cops let him get a few more licks in before they did anything, though, knowing what was going on, reading the affidavits. But like I said, I can't say I blame these people at all, because you see these outbursts in court cases, some major, major ones. Like I know with Jeffrey Dahmer, there was the sister of one of his victims screaming and shrieking, "I hate you, Jeffrey. I hope you die, Jeffrey." These things happen. You see people who jump the rail to get to the person who has been accused of unaliving somebody, and they go crazy. They absolutely go crazy. And I understand that. So the question is, do these people not deserve to be in the courtroom for the proceedings if it's going to be too emotional and too much for them to deal with? That's my question. That's my question. I don't know what the proper answer to this is. I just know it's not an easy thing to deal with. And like I said before, I don't blame the boy's father for reacting the way he did, because his son's been dead since May. It's not even been a year. And to know that the person who, or the alleged person who put your son in the ground, is out wandering around thinking life is just grand. I don't know how you don't go crazy and go postal. I don't know. I feel I mean, originally he was charged with $1 million bond and they knocked it down to 50 grand, which makes no sense to me. But I do feel that they screwed up by letting him have bond at all. I really do. And he should not be out because I'm sorry, if you are charged with attempted murder, kidnapping, RAPE, um, child, adult, whatever, child abuse, I don't think these people deserve bond. I think you need to be kept locked up for quite some time until you go to court and you're either proven innocent or guilty. That is what I think you should do. I think that's what should happen because we've had too many cases where people are charged with assault with a deadly weapon with the intent to kill, or assault with a deadly weapon, or attempted murder, and they're given bond and they get out, and then they get out and actually kill somebody. And that, where does it stop? So they should definitely be keeping these people locked up. They should not be letting anybody out to give them a second chance to kill somebody. That's what I think. But to just see that man tackle that boy and just try to stomp him and hit him and do whatever he could, whatever damage he could to that kid, I don't fault the man. I don't at all. And like I said, I can't guarantee if I was in that situation, I wouldn't do the same damn thing. So, but this is Rebecca with Red True Crime. I'm going to let you go. You guys tell me in the comments what you think, if you think he was right or wrong or whatever. And as I always say, be weird, be rude, be safe, and subscribe, like, share, comment, all that good stuff. So I'll be back when I have a new story, but there you have it. And he said my sympathies to Jamarius Dixon's family because I don't know what it's like to lose a child. I hope I never, ever know that feeling. So everyone have a great night. Bye.